see Model Geeks. And here we are outside the shed today. Look at these trees, the leaves are falling off. It's bloody August. Look at the ground. Yeah, lack of water. Horrible. Even the horse agrees there. So, what am I going to talk about? I went to Popham Model Show at the weekend. Met some great people. Thanks to everyone that come up and said hello. It's always nice to meet people. Now, it was quite an eye-opener going to Popham. I don't go to many model shows anymore over the last few years. And the only one I do go to is Popham. Now, Popham is in its second year. Its first year, there weren't very many traders, and there was a few people, but, you know, new show and all that. Now, this year, I mean, the show itself run brilliantly. Popham, perfect organisers, you know, everything's wonderful, great. They even had little golf carts that you could get on to go between the car park and the display area. And that was great. Saltmarsh Pete made great use of that. Now, what was a little bit sad, there's a few things. One, there was a lack of people. From what I was told, there was just over 1,000 people that went on the Saturday. And, you know, it was a cheap entry show. If you were like a real grown-up, it was £8 to get in. And children and OAPs was a £5. Now, most modellers in the UK are over pension age, you know, so they was all paying a £5. So Popham didn't bring in much money, and because they're still promoting the show, trying to get it going, the traders didn't pay a lot either to go to that show. Now, things I didn't see at this show: people buying stuff. Nobody was buying anything. There was some classic traders there. You had Balsa Cabin, and a few others, Cambrian Model Company, and there was a few other little ones as well. There was a guy selling F. Putin memorabilia, and then there was a few expensive places, you know, selling turbines, jets, etc, etc. But yeah, and there was also like a bring and buy, loads of second-hand models for sale, and there were some really nice second-hand models. Nobody was buying. It was a crying shame. But it was okay because the BMFA were there in all their glory. Now, you'd think that the BMFA, as the promoter of their hobby, would like to be right at the forefront, wouldn't you? Because everybody coming in, you never know, they might be an interested person, they might want to get into modelling. So you'd want to be right at the entrance, wouldn't you? You know, tapping up people, talking to them, you know, getting them interested. No. Where were they? At the furthest point of the airfield, tucked up in a dead end in the corner, hiding away. And how bloody ridiculous is that? You know, a hobby is desperate for new people, yeah? There are just not very many new people coming into this hobby, especially young people. And they were just hidden out the way. Nobody could see where they fucking were. How ridiculous. I mean, maybe they was embarrassed about their liveried up van that they had, you know, where they spend their money and stuff. Who knows? But, you know, unless you went and looked for them and walked to the very far end of that airfield, you would not have found the BMFA. Oh look, here's some horses. And like I said, I didn't see very many children there. I remember going to model shows back in the 90s and stuff. Kids everywhere, you know. at lunchtime they'd have a kids competition with chuck gliders, you know, and the kids win a prize, toffee bombing, all that kind of stuff. Right? Nothing. You know, where's their new modelers coming from? You know? What's going to happen when all you old boys who have spent hundreds of hours building your beautiful aeroplanes, when you die, what's going to happen? Yeah? They're going to go, look at that shitty old plane, well, just chuck that away. All your hard work down the drain. Because there's nobody that's now interested in your models. There's no young generation champing at the bit to have your beautiful models that you've built and spent hundreds of hours building. All that'll happen is your family will come along and go, oh, look at that, we'll rip the engine off that old thing, chuck it on eBay, say it's vintage, and burn your plane. And that's the way it's going. The kids today, they don't want to fly, they'd rather sit on their Xbox. The funny thing is, the cost of an Xbox or a PlayStation, you could actually get everything you need to get into modelling. And it's their own fault. Yeah? How many of you older generation modellers get your grandkids out? Get them having a go? Get them interested? You don't. And so, when the older generation die, there's nobody to take their place. Nobody to carry on modelling traditions. So, carrying on, here's a bit more of the farm. Just been working on the stream this morning. We can't really call it a stream at the moment because there's no water in it. That's how little water is. But I've been cleaning it out, getting all the silt out of the bottom, chucking it into a wheelbarrow, ready for when water returns to the stream for the winter. This is part of the River Ems. This is like a little tap off it. And as you can see, there ain't no water. Yeah. So what else was I going to moan about? I'll have to have a little think. Here's another hanger-on at the farm. This is Merlin. Merlin the cat. He belonged to a neighbour. He turned up here one day and never went home. And then the neighbours decided to move. So you stayed, didn't you, boy? One great thing at Popham, though, was there were no drones. Oh, sorry. No, we all fly drones. They're model aeroplanes. But you know what I mean. Those things with 4 propellers on them. There was a couple of boat clubs there as well, and some train enthusiasts. They looked pretty bored because nobody was really looking at their stuff, which is a shame again. You know, people make the effort to go to these shows to show off their stuff. Nobody comes along to look at it. But you know, it won't be a problem next year at Popham Model Show because the rumour is it ain't happening. Because of the low amount of people that went to the show, they're not making any dough. So, well done, guys. You had a new model show which had potential and you fucked it up. All you modellers out there that couldn't be asked to go, you know, is the only, you know, for the south of England, you know, it's the only one now, really. Well, it was only one for 2 years. Oh, God. Fucking people. You might find this video jumps around all over the place. It's because when I just think of something, I press the record button as I'm wandering around. Oh, what's Merlin seen? Ah, he's seen a pigeon. Oh, excellent. Now the Ghost Squadron, they were at the Popham show. They've been going so long, I remember them when I was a kid. So, you know, who's going to pick up their reins when they're gone? Because, you know, they're going to be ghosts soon. And, you know, where are the young people to come along and do what the Ghost Squadron are doing with their large model aircraft? Nobody's getting any younger. Inwood were there at the show. He looked bloody bored, just sitting there in his chair. Nobody buying. Lucky it only cost him twopence halfpenny to go there, really. Yeah, I mean, you know, great show. Shit, people went. What more can you say? You know, you need 2 or 3 times the amount of people going to shows like this. You know, I'm sure there are modelers out there. What was it the BMFA said? 750 clubs and 1,000 flying sites in the UK? What, fucking hell. You know, there must be more than a couple of thousand people that could go to the Popham show. Maybe it wasn't advertised to the local area. Maybe people just thought, why do I want to see some old blokes with toy planes? Who knows? I had a look at the BMFA website, and I thought I'd have a look at the records section, you know, see what national records are there to be broken. There's hundreds of them. Go and have a look yourself. See if you can go and break a national record. It ain't that difficult. Yeah, nobody's doing it. You know, you could get a load of national records easy if you put your mind to it. I'm thinking of having a dabble myself. Here's another quickie for you. Would you rather belong to the British Model Flying Association or the Society of Model Aeronautical Engineers? Which one do you think covers your hobby better? Are you a model flyer? Or are you a model engineer that builds something, modifies something and flies it? Maybe you design your own stuff. You're an engineer. You're not a bloody model flyer only. You know, BMFA, you've lost half of what the hobby is by calling yourself the British Model Flying Association. It's bullshit. Should never have changed the name. So, as I was saying earlier, there was a few traders at the show. Balsa Cabin, they were there selling their wood. There was I saw at least one old boy buying some wood. He was so old, it's probably for his coffin or something. But yeah, I mean, you know, there were a few people going into Balsa Cabin. Cambrian Model Company, they were there with their fun fighters, and also some little vintage kits, which really took my fancy. I might have to get one of those. One of them was called the Answer, about 48-inch wingspan, designed for like a 1cc diesel. It looked very, very nice. It looked a bit like a Scorpion, Super Scorpion, but smaller. Yeah, so that was good. Who else was there? Morris Mini Motors were there, you know, the guys that do the petrol conversions. They didn't look like they were selling much. There was a turbine guy there, showing off some turbines on his stand. And there was a few places selling loads of foam, you know. So yeah, there was action, but people just really weren't buying. Oh, God, I thought I had a wasp on me then. So yeah, I mean, I think my rant's over. Another thing that did make me smile at Popham, and a lot of things did make me smile at Popham, mainly because of the company that was there with me. But they had a mass foamy EDF fly-off. I think it was like 10 EDFs. And it was like sky carnage. It was nice to see loads of foam trashed. There were EDFs landing on top of EDFs and everything. That's probably the highlight of the day, actually. Apart from the Ghost Squadron, of course, I mean, they had some beautiful big aircraft there, and they were doing glider towing and stuff. You know, they always come up with something good. And they had the old, who else was there? I don't know if Steve Carr was flying it, but Steve Carr's Yak was there. I think it's a Yak, isn't it? Yeah. And that was there. But, you know, there wasn't really a lot of small stuff. You know, your general boring small stuff. Yeah, I think maybe every show is the same. You know, the same people turn up, the same big models, the same jets. You know, the £20,000 jets, £20,000 turbine helicopters. You know, that are basically out of everybody's reach. Yeah, it looks good, but you know, it's not grassroots, is it? Hey? And that's what we're missing, grassroots. And we're missing grassroots here and all. Grass has been dying something chronic over the summer. There was a turbine jet at Popham on Saturday that went in and decided to catch the place on fire. Luckily, the airfield's got a fire service and managed to put it out before it toasted the whole place, which is good. And what else happened? Anything exciting? Oh, Saltmarsh Pete told me about this one. I didn't see it, but there was a guy or somebody with a Fokker triplane, and the undercarriage fell off on takeoff. I mean, how's that happen? Oh, I'm going to a show. Oh, should I give my plane the once over? Nah. Hey, come on, people. God, I'm a right moaning cunt today, aren't I? I'm making up for all the times I haven't moaned. So, there's my little bit of a rant. Not a major one, I don't normally rant, but I do like saying what I think. No, the horse is saying I don't, but I do. This is Sydney. Sydney is 27. And you said, hey, come on. You're right, yeah. You want a tickle under the chin? Oh, yes. Isn't that nice? Yeah, so there you go, little rant. Tell me what you think. I'm probably wrong. If you are, or if I am, tough shit. Coming up in the future, I've got some. What are we going to do? Oh, I've got a Ben Buckle Elf to get flying. Belongs to a guy that watches the channel, and he had some issues with it, so I'm going to sort it out for him. Going to build a Junior 60 with single channel radio and an engine of some vintage or other, which I have yet to find, but hopefully I'll come across something. So yeah, we're going full single channel radio in a Junior 60, aiming for the era around the late 50s, early 60s. So if anybody's got an old engine from that era that they think would be suitable for a Junior 60, let me know. We're talking glow or diesel, not electric obviously, and we're going to be building that. Now we've also got this blind flying challenge that I'm going to be working on as well. I actually met the guy, Andrew, who emailed me about this challenge up at Popham. We spent a good afternoon together with his wife and Saltmarsh Pete. Had a giggle about old times and flying and stuff like that. So, that's all to come in the future. So, see you all soon, guys. Put a comment in the comments if you think I'm talking shit, and see you all soon.
Thank you for watching Captain Rob's RC Model Geeks. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click that like button. If you want to see more of the same type of videos, don't forget you can subscribe. If you want to support us, you can use PayPal, paypal.me facebook.com/RC Model Geeks. If you want to contact us, you can email us rcmodelgeeks@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.